After 8 long years of being excluded, I finally decided it was time for payback. And not just any payback, the kind that would leave my mother and my golden child sister completely speechless. My name is Amelia. I am a 33-year-old freelance graphic designer, or at least, that is what my family always thought of me. A woman still figuring things out in their eyes. Olivia, my sister, is 35. She is married to Mike, and together they have 4 kids, Jack, who is 12, Ava, who is 10, James, who is 8, and little Arya, who is 6. Then there is my mother, Evelyn, a 62-year-old woman who has always had one favorite child. And guess what? That child was never me. For the past 8 years, our family had a tradition. We would spend 2 weeks each summer at Mom's beach cottage in North Carolina. It is a beautiful 4-bedroom, 3-bathroom home right on the beach. To anyone else, it sounds like the perfect place for a family gathering. But for me, that cottage became the symbol of my exclusion. Every March, without fail, my mom would call me with the same speech. Amelia, honey, I'm so sorry, but there just isn't enough room at the beach house this year. Olivia's family is so big, and the kids need their space. Maybe next year we can work something out. And every single year, Olivia's family would be welcomed with open arms, while my kids and I were left behind. It wasn't just about a vacation. It was about being told, year after year, that we didn't matter as much. My children, Alex, who is 9, and Mia, who is 7, would ask me why Grandma never invited us to the beach like she did with their cousins. What was I supposed to say? That Grandma didn't consider us important enough? Meanwhile, Olivia received royal treatment. Mom would spend weeks preparing for their visit, stocking the house with their favorite snacks, buying new beach toys for the kids, even redecorating sometimes just to make it more comfortable for Olivia's family. Every summer, my sister would flood her Instagram with perfect family pictures. The kids building sandcastles, Mike grilling on the deck, Olivia sipping drinks in the hammock while Mom played with the children. And every summer, my kids and I stayed home, going to the local pool or watching movies, pretending we were okay with being left out. Last summer was the breaking point. I had just landed the biggest client of my career, a software company that wanted me to completely rebrand their identity. It was a 6-figure contract that would set me up for the entire year. I was excited, proud, and ready to finally share good news with my family. At Mom's birthday party, I told her about the deal. Her response? That's wonderful, dear. Maybe now you can think about getting a more stable job. Olivia laughed in front of everyone and added, "Come on, Mom. Amelia just likes playing around on her computer. It's not like she has a real career." I swallowed my anger, like I always did. But then, later that evening, Mom gave her yearly "no room at the beach house" speech. This time Olivia twisted the knife. "You know, Amelia, maybe if you had a real job, you could afford your own vacation. The rest of us shouldn't have to sacrifice family time because you can't get your life together." And the worst part? My mom agreed. Olivia has a point. Honey, Mike works so hard, and those kids deserve their vacation. Maybe when you're more established. I smiled. I nodded. I pretended it didn't hurt. But inside, I was done. Completely finished. Because what Olivia and my mom didn't know was that my business was taking off. That 6-figure deal was just the beginning. Within months, my reputation grew. More companies came looking for me. By October, I had too many clients. By December, I had hired 2 employees. By February, I was looking for an office space. The money was flowing in, but I told no one. To my family, I was still Amelia, the girl who plays on her computer. But in March, just as Mom prepared for her usual rejection call, I made a move that would change everything. I bought a resort. Not just any property, but a small beachfront resort about 2 hours from Mom's cottage. It had 12 rooms, a restaurant, a private beach, and more potential than anyone realized. The previous owners had run it into the ground and were desperate to sell. I got it for a fraction of its real value. Over the next few months, I invested $200,000 into renovations. New furniture, redesigned rooms, a sparkling infinity pool that overlooked the ocean, a children's play area that would make Disney jealous, and a restaurant serving 5-star food. By May, it looked like something out of a luxury travel magazine. I called it Seaside Haven Resort. And it was all mine. By June, it was fully booked with glowing reviews. My children and I prepared for the most magical summer we had ever experienced. Meanwhile, Olivia and Mom were planning their annual trip to the cottage. They had no idea what I was about to do. The first week of July arrived, and with it, the familiar sting of exclusion. Mom called me again with the same line she'd been using for 8 years. "Amelia, honey, I'm so sorry. You know the cottage just can't fit everyone. Olivia's kids need the space. Maybe next year." I smiled into the phone and said, "It's fine, Mom. I already made other plans this year." Other plans indeed. While Olivia and her perfect family packed their bags for Mom's cramped 4-bedroom cottage, my kids and I checked into our very own resort. Seaside Haven wasn't just beautiful, it was breathtaking. The infinity pool stretched into the horizon, the beach sparkled like diamonds in the sun, and the rooms smelled of fresh orchids and ocean breeze. Alex and Mia squealed with excitement as they ran through the resort, exploring every corner. For once, they weren't the forgotten grandchildren. They were royalty. And the best part? My revenge was just getting started. See, I knew Mom and Olivia couldn't resist curiosity. Olivia's entire life revolved around appearances and competition. She always had to be better, richer, more admired. And Mom? She always backed Olivia. So, I made sure word got out. I posted just a few casual photos online. Nothing over the top, just me and the kids relaxing by the infinity pool, enjoying gourmet meals, and smiling in front of the ocean view balconies. Within 24 hours, my phone buzzed. It was Olivia. "Amelia, where are you? That doesn't look like the local pool. That looks like, wait, is that a resort?" I replied calmly. "Yes, we're spending 2 weeks here." Silence. Then, "How on earth can you afford that?" I smiled. I own it. The silence that followed was pure music to my ears. The very next day, Mom called. "Amelia, sweetheart, why didn't you tell us?" "Olivia said you bought a resort?" "Yes, Mom. It's mine. I renovated the whole place. It's fully booked for the season." Her voice trembled. "Fully booked?" "Yes. Every room." That was the truth. I had made sure of it. But here's the twist, they didn't know who booked the resort. Because I had reserved every last room for myself weeks earlier. The guests? Just names I put into the system. Fake reservations. That way, no one else could stay there during my 2 weeks. Which meant when Mom and Olivia came snooping, because of course they would find something shocking. And right on cue, 3 days later, a shiny SUV pulled up in front of Seaside Haven. Out stepped Olivia, her husband Mike, their kids, and of course, my mother. They looked around in awe. The resort glowed in the evening sunset, lights twinkling across the pool, waves crashing against the shore. It was paradise. Olivia marched up to me, trying to mask her envy. "So, this is your place?" I smiled politely. "Yes. Welcome to Seaside Haven." Mom's eyes darted everywhere. "Amelia, this is incredible. You did all this?" "Yes, Mom. I told you my business was doing well." "You didn't believe me." Olivia scoffed. "Well, don't get too comfortable. We'll just stay here instead of the cottage. There's plenty of space, right?" I tilted my head and delivered the line I had been waiting 8 years to say. "Oh, I'm so sorry. There isn't enough room. Every single suite is booked. Maybe next year." The look on Olivia's face was priceless. Her jaw dropped. "What? You mean to tell me you won't make space for us?" I grinned. "Exactly. I'm sure the cottage is lovely, though. Maybe you'll find room there." Mom stammered. But Amelia, we're family." I nodded slowly. "Yes. And for 8 years, you told me that same line, there just isn't enough room. Now you finally know how it feels." Olivia turned red with anger. "You can't be serious." I leaned closer. "I'm dead serious." They left that evening, humiliated, back to their cramped little cottage. Meanwhile, my children and I spent 2 weeks in paradise, building memories they would never forget. For once, I wasn't the forgotten daughter. I wasn't the sibling left out. I wasn't the one begging for space at someone else's table. This time, I owned the table. And the sweetest part? When the summer ended, word spread across town. Not about Mom's cottage, not about Olivia's family photos, but about Seaside Haven, the luxury resort run by the daughter who never had a real job. I didn't just get revenge. I won.